Welcome back to the making of my Cyber Lolita dress. It's been a few months since my last video, so let's do a quick recap. And maybe this will help anyone who's new here know what's going on. If you don't care about the recap, you can skip to this time and I'll put a nice big recap done on the screen so you know exactly when that's happening. Okay, let's get ready, go! My goal is to design and make my very own Cyber Lolita dress for my Cyberbug character. Technically, I am making a cardigan and a skirt, not a dress, but dress is easier to say, so. I am making a whole cinematic world around her, so if you want to see what I've already done so far, I'll put a link in one of the corners so you can check it out. And the dress is specifically for a big moment in the next installment, so it's important that she looks awesome. Here's the design. The colorful pink and blue areas where there's question marks, that is going to be a surprise fabric, because I want there still to be an element of surprise, because it's going to be amazing, you know? But of course, I still want to bring you all along in the process, so just, yeah, surprises. The overall design is pulling from traditional Chinese fashion and some Japanese fashion, with some elements in there that make it feel cybery, like fake leather, zippers, fishnet, so it's gonna be really cool. Oh, I should probably mention I've never done this before. What? Like, I've never made my own clothes before, so I am very much a beginner, learning from my mistakes. Don't, like, learn from me, but, like, I mean, you can learn from my mistakes, but, like, this is not a tutorial, okay? Because I don't know what I'm doing. This is more like a watch me struggle and figure out how things work. Maybe you'll want to try it too. I don't know. I'm starting with a small scale mock-up so that I can figure this out without wasting a bunch of materials, because again, I've never done this before. So yeah, this is like a quarter scale. This is like, yeah, it's quarter scale. Very small. But it looks bigger when it's closer to the camera. Once I figure out basically what I want to do on the small scale, I'm going to scale it up to my size. So far, I've done one iteration of the cardigan. Oh, yeah, duh. Hold on a sec, pause. Okay, I'm bringing out my little auto spin to make it more interesting. Gosh, what was I saying? At the end of the last video, I made this change to the dress, and I started wondering, like, how is that going to affect the overall design? So since then, I have made some design changes, but yeah, I just started like wondering, like, how does this work? So that's the recap, and I'll put the big like recap. Yep, there we go, beautiful. And then I'll just keep it here for a few seconds so that people can find it when they go to school. Now let's get into the new stuff. Since I've been away for several months, I have spent a lot of time figuring out how I want the new design to look. Here's the new design. I don't know how to explain things. I removed one of the black zipper hanging things, the one on the right side, so you can clearly see that dress layering. I still wanted to put charms on that side of the dress and bring in some balance, because the other side started feeling a little heavy. And then I was like, maybe I can still have something hanging, but just like thinner. Often in cyberpunk fashion, you see a lot of straps and buckles and whatever. So that's the kind of thing I wanted to do instead, because yeah, strap is a lot thinner than whatever I have going on there. But then I was like, okay, how do I keep it cyberpunky, but can I still like bring in some of those like Chinese, Japanese elements in there to make that more prominent? I started browsing Etsy for ideas, because that's where a lot of my ideas come from. I just like go down different rabbit holes and see something like, oh, that looks cool, I want to see more of that, and then search for that thing, and like, oh, I didn't know that was called that, but let me search for that, you know? A lot of my process is just going down rabbit holes. And one of the rabbit holes brought me down to twisted rope. That's something you see very common in Japanese fashion, like when you're wearing an obi. So I was like, yeah, that's it. That's what I need. So I was like, okay, let me add one here. And I was like, oh, maybe I could add another one. I could do different colors. What? Thankfully, there are several different colors out there that I can buy. And I was like, okay, they look pretty cool on the skirt. Can I add them anywhere else? So then I was thinking, like, what about the back of the dress? So I thought it would be cool to have something hanging off like from the neck and go over to the shoulders and just hang down and then hang down and attach to the skirt. And it's all gonna be removable. They're gonna have like clasps, so if one day I don't want to wear them like that, I don't have to. That's another thing I'm designing for, is versatility of the outfit. I also decided, I didn't draw this, but I am going to have a detachable hood. So it's gonna be like up and be like, cool. It's like, you know, the low hood, like think Jedi, but like cyber, like, yeah. And I'm gonna make that like half and half the surprise fabric, half the fake leather, so it's gonna be really cool. So that's the new design. I'm so excited to share that y'all helped me reach my funding goal to fund the project. Like, I didn't think it would happen as fast as it did, so thank you all so much. As a thank you, I'm going to include everyone's like names or usernames, whatever you feel most comfortable with, in the credits of the Cyberbug videos, and I'll reach out to you privately to see what you're most comfortable with. But yeah, thank you all so much. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. So the next steps would be to buy the materials. And with that, let's move on to the actual crafting. In this video, we'll focus on the skirt, so I'm gonna do the over fabric here, probably the under fabric. One of these days I'll learn my terms. And we'll see how far we get, and hopefully we get a lot done. And if not, that's okay. When I was thinking about designing the overskirt, I wanted to make sure there was room for pockets, so there is going to be like a little hole somehow to stick my hand through. Don't use that out of context. I was playing around with how I want the overskirt to sit on the dress, because in my drawing it just looks flat, which I don't know, it's kind of boring. And I want it to have volume, and it won't necessarily have volume if it's just flat. So I'm gonna try this pleated idea, because you know, you've seen pleated skirts everywhere. They do add some volume, so maybe that'll work in my case. Let's make the pattern. First, I'm going to go back to my measurements to see what my waist is, and I'm going to cut that number in half to make the two overskirt pieces on the side. I think that'll work. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to make it like a basic, like start out with a basic skirt shape and then play around with it from there. While I was gone for these past 3 months, I have spent a lot of time looking up tutorials on sewing things and just scrolling through reels of sewing tips and tricks and whatever. One thing I've learned is that it usually takes multiple attempts to make a template the way you want. You're supposed to start with a base shape and then make adjustments from there, usually cutting in different ways and then playing around with those cuts and then putting that on another trace paper and making your template based on that. Because it's kind of hard to imagine the different like folds and cuts you want to make when you need something very like shapely. That's what I'm doing with the overskirt, since I want to have folds. Now I'm very carefully folding the paper over the marks that I made. That's going to transfer to the fabric, and then I'll like sew them together so it stays. But yeah, this is just making sure it gets the effect that I'm going for. And it does! Then we cut out the fabric, and we make two, because we're making two sides. Now it's time for some actual sewing, so getting that sewing machine out. I'm actually not doing much right now. I'm just hemming the edges of the skirt, the overskirt, just so it looks a little finished, you know? And clearly I need more practice, because this turned out kinda wobbly, kinda crooked. Ugh. But look, here's the second attempt. It's already so much better. This is why we practice, y'all, okay? Snack break. Good. Now that I am properly satiated, I'm trying to pin the folds of the fabric together so then I can sew them together. I'm not quite sure how I want this process to be done first, and I also have to think about like pressing or ironing. I decided to sew the top of the overskirt first to try to get those folds down. I'm going super slowly because it's so hard to get the folds under the presser foot how I want them to go. And the pins only help so much. So I'm using my seam ripper to help guide the fabric since I can't really get my fingers that close. Here's how it looks. I don't like it, but that's okay. We can try again. Now I'm ironing it, which I probably should have done before trying to sew it together, but whatever. This is so uneven. It's gross. Oh, I really hope the next one's better. Oh, hey, look, the next one is better. Huzzah! I'm just proud of myself. Look at those nice folds, and the hemline is all even. Moment of truth. Let's get those little overskirt thingies onto the dress. The other skirt, the main skirt. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a pain to redo the waistline. Oh. Okay, maybe let's do a transition, okay? Okay, ready, set, wah! Ta-da! It was definitely a pain to get on there because the PVC is so slippery, but that's okay. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. Dang it. This is the pretty side. So just, yeah, look at that fold and the way it folds over. Yeah, I think it's good. Also, I was worried that it was gonna be too short, not enough fabric when you look at the back. But actually, like, this is all gonna be shirring. Side note, I did learn shirring, so now I know how to do it, and I did test it once. Not on this, but on other fabric. But yeah, I think this is actually going to be enough. So, cool. Yeah, looking cute. The overskirt is much closer to the fold over layer line than I thought it would be. Don't know yet if I want the ropes to hang down over the overskirt or under it. I guess I could put like multiple D-rings to, you know, hook them, detach them, see what I like. I think the overskirt is a success. Now for the underskirt. I still haven't decided if I want that trim to just be like, you know, attached to the main fabric and just be like bias tape kind of trim, or if I want it to be a separate, like a whole separate skirt underneath, so then I could get like lots of frills while spinning. I really think I want that one. I love spins, and we love beautiful skirt spins. I'm just not certain how the shape is gonna look. But that's okay, this is why we test things out. So let's keep going. I decided I'm gonna take all of this off, and then I'm gonna do the drapey drape that, you know, you see professional seamstresses do when on their mannequins, because I was like, I can do that too. Turns out I can't really do that. I tried though. This was my attempt. But anyway, this got me thinking like, yes, I want the ruffles at the waistline. And thankfully I've done this before, so I kind of know what I'm doing. So first I have to I gotta do a straight stitch, and you gotta make it as wide as possible. That way you can like pull the fabric, or scrunch the fabric while you pull the thread. Okay, now I am changing my stitch length to the widest possible, which is 4 on my machine. Doing straight stitch, yeah. An important thing to note when you're doing this kind of ruffle action is not to do a back stitch. A back stitch kind of locks the stitch in place, because if you do that, then you won't be able to pull from both sides. So yeah, the sewing machine already got some ruffles in for me, so that was very nice and helpful of it. But now I'm only pulling one side, like one of the threads, in order to get that ruffly action, because, you know, there's 2 sides of your thread. There's, you know, the bobbin side and the top stitch. And I'm going at it from both sides to make it even. I sewed it over because that's supposed to lock it in place. 2 things. The most noticeable is the pink fishnet. I wanted to put the fishnet there to see how the angles would look, because that's how, like, on the drawing, that's kind of how it looks. But in the drawing, it's black, and it's going to be black in the final. Just, I only have pink, so. Second thing, the underskirt, I used black. I didn't get the cool wavy thing I was hoping for, so I'll have to play around with that more to see how I can do that better. But also, as I was putting this on and draping the main skirt over it, I noticed the main skirt is kind of accidentally asymmetrical. Like it's higher up here than down here. So I was like, oh well, maybe the black skirt can look asymmetrical too, and kind of start higher over here and then get thicker over here. So that's a thing that could be a thing, I guess, maybe. Here's how it looks without the bright fishnet in your face. I really like what's going on down here, you know? It looks cool. It's coming together and I'm so happy. But I'm so tired. I want to do one more thing today, and I think that'll be it. I want to do the one strip with the zipper hanging off of it. Just one. And we'll see how it looks. Let's do it. Okay, so in order to work with zippers, I need to change out my presser foot, which is just a little lever on the back. It's actually so easy. Like, I used to be so intimidated. But yeah, you just pop that off, and then I got my zipper foot. I don't remember how it goes on. Oh no. Oh no. Please hold. Now I remember, you have to pop off like the entire thing. So you just turn the knob and then it just kind of falls off. And then I can stick the foot on the screw, I think. Maybe, man, I still don't remember how to do this. I'm almost there though, almost there. What you're supposed to do is get those like teeth pokey things around that screw. Any day now. Come on. Oh, okay. Here we go. I figured it out. Oh my gosh. And then you tighten it. Yeah. So that's what you do. And then there's a little slidey thing. You slide that into place to make sure that you're not hitting your needle, or your needle isn't hitting the foot, because that would break the needle and might be unsafe. So yeah. And then what I do is I bring my needle down just to where it's like sort of touching the foot, but not really, just to make sure it won't touch it while I'm sewing. And you tighten it, and that's how you do it. Yay! And now it's time to sew, and I'm going super slow so I don't mess up. And so I get the fabric the right width between the zipper and the whatever. But look at me go, it's okay to go slow, 'cause that means you're being careful. And it's okay to be slow when you're doing new things, 'cause then you don't get frustrated and you don't mess up. And then you won't hate the thing that you're doing. Wow, I'm really bad at singing today. Also, it immensely helps to have the correct presser foot. Like before, in my beginning of trying to sew zippers, oh my god, it was awful. But no, the presser foot really makes the difference, and this is a zipper foot. One zippery dingly thingy complete. This is gonna look definitely better scaled up also, because this is a real, like, a regular sized zipper. It's gonna be thinner. It's gonna look thinner when it's all scaled up. But yeah, okay. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And then I'm gonna have charms that hang off the zipper, and it's gonna look really cool. I made this, by the way. It's a good luck knot. And that's all I'm gonna do today, because I'm so tired and the lights hurt my eyeballs. But we got a lot done, like I was hoping. Yay! Next time I'll work on the little pointy things that are coming out from the hips, and perhaps the cool little tail on the back. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye! This is really frustrating. How this, gotta wait for it to turn back now. How this new element of the dress would affect the rest of the design. I didn't decide on anything yet, but I have now, but not in the since the no, looking at me, but not at the camera. Ugh. Oh, talking. Okay, I can do this. I can talk. Yeah.